Hello, graffiti lovers, and welcome to Graffiti Brilliant. In this episode, I will have a look at the brilliant movie Style Wars. I love it so much, but how come? What makes it so brilliant? Well, I have analyzed the movie, boiled it down, and came up with the following ingredients. This is what it contains: joy, fun, excitement, passion, interesting people and their relations, conflicts, and a spice of pure craziness. So pop the popcorn, sit back and enjoy. Okay, so here is the intro. A train is arriving, but where is the graffiti? Isn't this supposed to be a graffiti movie? Where is the graffiti? But just wait for it. Just wait for it. Boom! You see? A perfect light on the train. This is genius. This is so brilliant, the way they've shot this. Again, boom, boom, boom. I mean, this lighting. Who is the photographer? This is the best way I've seen graffiti shown on a train.
I got into graffiti just like riding the trains when I was younger.
Sorry, can you say that again?
I got into graffiti just like riding the trains when I was younger.
When you were younger? How much younger? You're like really young now. This is crazy.
A lot of trains, a lot of fun, a lot of art that's going to be a part of New York City's history forever.
Well, you should watch to the end of the movie, because the art will not be there forever. It will be cleaned, totally washed away. But let's get back to the joy and passion.
Oh, wow, check it out, our whole car lit. Yo, what? Check it out, man, the Satch Quick. Yo, look at that, man. Yo. That's big.
We just had an orgasm.
You had an orgasm? But what are you talking about? Let's rewind this.
We caught a freshly painted double R, and we spent about 3 hours in it. That's impossible. No, it's not. We were tagging with the unis, then the minis, then the Marvies, then the pilots, then the flow pens, and we were doing clouds around the tags and 3Ds on the tags. For the double R's to have a clean car back then like that, we just had an orgasm.
Okay, man. Great feeling. Okay, this footage is so beautiful, the silhouette. But let's move on to Dondi and let's hear what he says.
Even the smell you get, like when you first smell trains, like in a yard, it's like, it's a good smell to like a dedicated graffiti writer, I guess.
This guy's smile, his passion for his work, makes my heart warm.
When you're first against the train, it's like everything seems so big, like, wow, it's like you're in a yard of like metal giants, and like, you're just like, I mean, everything is like so hard and like so steel, and like, you're just there, you're like a little dude, you're like in the midst of all this metal, and like, you're here to produce something, well, you're here to like, try to produce something.
Poet, style, master, Dondi. I've never seen any movie about graffiti writers where the graffiti writers are so passionate about what they're doing as in Style Wars. I mean, look at this lust for life. It makes me think of our modern society today, with so many people feeling so bad. They go to the doctor, they seek help, maybe they say, I feel depressed, And the doctor say, well, here you got some anti-depression medicine. I mean, come on. This person who is depressed, they need to do something else. Look at these humans here in Star Wars. Let's watch it again.
CC starboard bow. Slow it down. Slow it down. What is it? You tell me. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. This is it. This is it. This is it. This is it. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is it. Give me that pound. Give me that pound. That khaki came out nice. That was crack.
Writing on the train. It looks like some jolly good antidepressive medicine. Everyone who is depressed, you should get the prescription from your doctor. You know, a written paper says, go and do some graffiti on the train instead of I will give you medicine. And now they change to this beautiful black and white images. It's so perfect. You can't get this with today's digital video. Just look at the color, not the color, the tones. Beautiful.
Saying that the kids run the subways.
This is a very important clip. This is the beginning, the birth of urban exploration. Personally, I've never been to New York City, but I have Googled it. And this place is the Grand Avenue layup in Brooklyn. You can find the hatch on the corner of Pitkin and Conduit. I can tell you, I would like to go there and check out if the hatch still is there. You know, maybe take a selfie with me in the hatch.
Yo, man, this place is bomb.
Excitement, passion, and joy.
They don't like it to be defaced.
I know.
They will at times try and go to the extreme and trying to apprehend you.
Extreme.
The subway system is a very old one. And I've personally explored some tunnels, and I've found rooms where maps that were so old it might have been like the first train line that New York City had. Well,
Freaking crazy.
Just a lot of rock, a lot of steel. Tomb, dungeon, under the city.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Check it out. Years ago, it was pretty much a secret. It was secretly done. People wondered and wished they could do it. Now most people do it.
Come on, most people are doing it. Is that really true that most people at this time, 1982, was doing graffiti?
Maybe. But let's look into the relations.
What'd you do last night?
We did 2 whole cars. It was me, Dez, and me 3, right? And on the first car, in small letters, it said, all you see
So,
is...
what does a good story need? Relations. I want to see relations. How people relate to each other. I mean, how does a friend relate to a friend? Love, enemies, all this stuff that's inside relations. So what does Henry do? Well, he managed to interview a writer. Okay, good work. How can he make it even more interesting? Well, he managed to interview the writer together with his mother. This is brilliant. All writers can relate to this because all of us have a mother somehow. I mean, this is where we came from. Maybe you don't have so good relation with your mother, but you still have a mother or had. And I think we all can relate this to the relation to your mother, the relation to graffiti. Does your mother know that you're writing? I don't know. Only one who knows that is you and your mother. But anyway, this is so great dialogue, and they are so generous. Both mom and this scheme guy with sharing what they feel and think and want.
Do you wanna dance?
Yes, I wanna dance.
What's up? Get some candy?
Candy.
Huh? Ain't get nothing? Wait up. Get some candy, man. You ain't got no change? Oh.
This is great. D5. Give me some candy to case 2. What kind of candy is it like? And what is this bag D5 is having? This small candy bag around his neck, or where is it? This I would like to have experience this as a young writer, hanging on the subway station, talking about some commercial illustrations. And who's this? Do you see this? To the right here, she's smiling. Is it his girlfriend, or is she in the crew? A crew member? Who is it? So now, when the train arrives, just go with some rapping. I wish I was this guy. D5 is not so much into the rapping game.
At the same time, back in the kitchen.
He's making a mess in this house. He cannot sit down without, doing graffiti on something.
All right, when
you really can't.
When you're talking on the phone, you don't doodle on the paper?
I don't doodle.
Yes, you do.
I do not doodle.
You do doodle on the paper.
I don't doodle.
I don't doodle. I just write my name while I'm talking on the phone. What's that? I'm just writing something.
You're telling me that you write your name while you're talking on the phone. In the meantime, you have destroyed your room. You have destroyed your room.
Testing out my
You
paint.
have no respect for anything. Don't tell me about testing out your paint. You have no respect for anything anymore.
Testing out my paint. You can't write a script like this. This reply is so brilliant. And I feel I have such a strong need to see his room. How does it look? What has he done? Testing out my paint. I'm thinking like, what about the fumes? How can you even sleep in this spray testing room? But we don't get to see the room, and that is so brilliant choice by the filmmakers. Because my brain is doing all the work. My fantasy is filling in the gaps of how this young boy's room is looking. But let's look at the word destroy. He has destroyed his room. And this is one of the fundamental questions about graffiti. Is changing color on a surface the same as destroying something? Let's look at the word destroy. The dictionary explains the word destroy as the end of existence of something by damaging or attacking it. I will repeat. Destroy means the end of the existence of something by damaging or attacking it. So, by spraying a new color over an old existing color, are you destroying something? Well, it's tricky. I mean, the old paint under the new is still there. It's not peeled away. It is just not visible. The surface, let's say the wall, is still there. The surface, the train, is still there and can function just as good as before, even when it had the old color, so to speak. So graffiti doesn't seem to fit the word destroy. But by applying your paint, your color, on the top of the other paint on the surface, you are destroying the other person's idea on what type of color it's gonna be on the surface. Maybe not a sun-clear case of destroying, but it sure as hell is a lack of respect of someone else's choice of color. After 42 wonderful minutes of watching the movie Style Wars, I have gotten to meet some great humans, learn the history of graffiti, seen some crazy mazy breakdancing, and I got to tell you, I feel pretty full and satisfied. Here, the movie could end. No problem for me. If it's gonna continue, it would need something different. It needs to take a good turn. So what does the filmmakers do? Listen to the music. The tone has changed, and it's like the fun is over, and something bad is about to happen.
Listen to the wind. Some new characters are presented by actually trespassing right into the movie through a hole in the fence. I always wonder what he's having in his left hand. It looks like this lunch bag. Has he brought maybe some MPC luxury sandwich? Never writing on empty stomach. So who is this new character?
I am not a graffiti artist. I'm a graffiti bomber. There's two styles of graffiti that are trying to, coexist with each other, but it ain't gonna work like that. Blood wars, buddy. Blood wars.
That's why graffiti's ruined. Like Cap ruined the 2s and 5s. The 2s and 5s used to go to the 2 yard. It would be like a masterpiece art gallery of burners from all these dudes from the Bronx and Brooklyn with Def Wild styles. Now you go to the 2 yard, it's all destroyed. This guy named Cap with his Lucille Ball hairdo.
Wait, this haircut? Do I understand you correct that you're talking about the haircut of the actress and comedian Lucille Ball? Is it her haircut you're talking about? Does Cap have this haircut? How evil is this writer Cap? Are people affected by his work? Hell yes! Look at this touching clip here.
Yeah.
Like, they went over that side man.
Yeah, I know.
Cap.
I wouldn't mind if he would have went over one of my old cars, but that was fresh. It was a brand new burner. It only ran for 2 days, And he didn't even get a chance to run on the line, just like...
Brilliant editing. He's making his own sound effect and then boom, clip to the throw-up going over the piece. Epic.
And they went over and I feel, that hurt me, And Scene was with him and PJ.
PJ? As I understand, we have not seen PJ in the movie. But there is one PJ piece on a train. And there is also this Pistol Pete whole car. Pretty fly. Is Pistol Pete PJ's other tag? How do you portrait a villain? Well, you can let the villain, this bad guy, describe himself how bad he or she is. But what's so much more effective is when someone else is talking about how bad and evil you are.
You just crossed me out anyway, so I don't know why, but brand new car too, you wasted.
Let's say this. I stand behind them if they had a good cause for the situation. As far as it is now, they have no cause behind it. They're just doing it for the hell of it, which
That ain't me, because I wouldn't want people to go over my pieces, so I wouldn't go over them. He's disrespecting the line, which no other guy was doing that years ago. All he does is silver throws. You got fresh colored pieces full top to bottom.
You can't get him back. You can't make up for it.
And he'll just laugh at you. It's just a throw. It's gonna get crossed off, I guarantee, by tomorrow, once they find out it's here.
That was a beautiful wall. I really like that. People like that, they deserve getting everything they got crossed out forever.
He went over this?
Yup, he did a cap throw up over me and an MPC over this and wrote war next to Fat Albert.
MPC, this crew that Cap represents. I always wondered, what does MPC stand for? My fantasy gave me this image of an MP helmet, and I made up the name MPC, Military Police Crew. Of course, that was not right. It stands for Morris Park Crew. I got to say, I was surprised. I thought it would mean something more cool, like other crews like OTB, Out to Bomb, CIA, Crazy Inside Artists, TPA, The Public Animals, PIC, Partners in Crime.
He went over this?
Yup, he did a cap throw up over me and an MPC over this and wrote war next to Fat Albert.
Oh, shit.
You get him, man.
You can't never make up for that.
You gotta get that nigga on the permanent.
That's never forgive action.
Listen to that line. It is a never forgive action. It's a line that you can't even write for an action movie, because you would never come up with this badass line. Reality surpasses fiction here.
Cap, I don't know, some big white boy, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know.
So who is this Cap? They have a meeting at Writer's Bench. They're gonna talk about how to stop Cap. But what makes this scene so brilliant is that it switches focus from Cap into a spelling lesson.
What you write, bro? I write Mare, man. Mare. Mare? Yeah. M-E-A-R? M-A-R-E. M-A-R-E, yeah. Ma. Man. Man, Ma is M-A-R. But nah, seriously, you gotta kill them dudes for doing that.
I really like this guy Mare's voice. He could be a really good this voice over voice to a meditation, to, for example, a sleep meditation. Of course, he needs to say something else than this kill them dudes. Something more soft when you're about to sleep. So for the last time, who is Cap? This mysterious graffiti villain, destroyer of lines, the inspiration for the character Spit in the movie Beat Street.
People don't know what I look like until now. Until they start going to the movies. They're gonna see my face. Big deal. Anybody tries to screw around with me and my friends, I go over everything they got forever. Everybody from Brooklyn to Manhattan. Everybody.
This clip is so freaking brilliant. We haven't really seen Cap's face before. They start to film his back and then he turns to face the camera. Brilliant shot. 5 gold stars.
Especially with me, the object is more. Not the biggest and the beautifulest, but more.
And with that single line, he wrote himself into the history books. This is the mantra for the modern day bomber. The object is more.
Gus started pulling some shit with me, and I'm telling you, he's lucky you didn't catch him by that wall. Because if we would have been, even if you were shooting the movie, it would have just been boom, boom, boom. And that's the way it would have went.
boom, boom, boom. As a kid watching this movie, I thought that boom, boom, boom meant like having a street fight, fighting with your fists. But in a magazine called Back Jumps, issue 1, there is an interview with Lady Pink. And after reading that interview, I start to think, maybe he meant something else with boom, boom, boom. 1982. So by 3 in the afternoon, I was done. I left, but that's when Cap and PJ arrived, and they were called by this, Linda, who did that Christmas car with PJ. That calls up. They come and pull out a gun, and they see so many graffiti writers that they had been after. Cap and PJ had been after, including Min and Duro, and everybody, and they just scream, freeze. And everybody starts running, and they blow the front doors of my school away. Glass doors shattered, middle of the afternoon. One kid gets shot in the back. This guy, PG. This is not cool. I hope this guy that got shot did not get any serious injuries. Kids, don't get inspired. I mean, do handle your beef in another way. Paint over each other or something. Guns and spray cans, they don't mix good together.
Dump Koch. Yeah, there you go. That is the highest praise imaginable because obviously I'm getting to them.
This is Ed Koch, at the time mayor in New York City. He was quite creative in the war against graffiti. Listen to this.
About 3 years ago, I decided to suggest to Dick Ravitch that they put a dog in the yard to keep the graffiti vandals out. The MTA rejected it, and they said no, that if you put a dog in the yards, the dog would step on the third rail. Now, I don't happen to think that dogs step on the third rail, but I said in response to that, well, if you think the dog will step on the third rail, then build 2 fences and have the dog run between the 2 fences, and that will keep people out and protect the dog from stepping on the third rail. And the response was, well, maybe somebody will climb over the fence and the dog will bite them. I said, well, I thought that's what the dog was for, but if you're afraid of having the dog bite such a vandal, and here I called upon my prodigious memory, I said, what you should do then, instead of using a dog, is to use a wolf.
Sorry, can you say that again? I think I misunderstood you. What did you say?
And have a wolf run between the 2 fences, because there is no recorded case in history where a wolf has ever attacked a human being unless the wolf were rabid, mad.
A wolf! Actually, now in the future, we know better. Wolves has killed a human. This happened in a Swedish zoo. Very tragic. Wolf in the train yard is so out of the box. With ideas like this, can you even imagine what a graffiti writer this man could have been? He could have been a new Picasso.
We painted 409 cars in approximately 8 weeks.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not one day did we miss that production schedule.
Our personal pride was hurt. A lot of people have been knocking the transit authority, and we wanted to show them that we could do something.
See, if the Japanese can do it, we can do it.
Hold on. This was filmed 1981-82. At this time, I believe that there was no graffiti in Japan. They did not have to buff any trains from graffiti because there was simply no graffiti there. But I can give you this. The Japan people, they are masters of getting the trains to run on time. Fences, barbed wire, and a wild freaking wolf. Oh my God! And what is not said here, and what's even more crazy, is that they hire Delta Force and Chuck Norris himself to serve and protect the train yards. Today, the graffiti on trains in New York is very rare, and I think this movie had a gigantic impact on the rest of the world. If Henry and Tony would not have told the story of these master art galleries rolling on the subway cars, there would have been nothing to be inspired from. Maybe even graffiti would have died. But this movie saved a drip of paint, and that was all that was needed to color the whole world. Like Dean from the Curiosity Show shows in this clip. This movie by itself started a chain reaction.
1. And we very quickly have an uncontrolled reaction.
Henry and Tony, thank you so much for this masterpiece of movie. See you in the next episode.